Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're out at the Ukrainian Cultural Heritage Village, about 30 minutes east of Edmonton, and this area was full of Ukrainian farms back around the 20s and 30s. So that's what we're getting today, a snapshot of those farms and villages around this area of Alberta. So stay tuned and we'll go check everything out. So as you exit the visitor center, you'll take a short path past Goose Lake over to the main part of the village. You'll be greeted with some train tracks, a train station, and off to the right, a grain elevator. This village depicts life from around 1899 to about 1930 in east central Alberta. So all the buildings you see on the property here are original, and they've been brought in from surrounding Ukrainian communities. And there's various stages of buildings. For example, some are very modern and some are like log with mud huts and dirt floors. So very interesting to see the evolution of the Ukrainian farming homestead. So as you make your way around the village, you'll see actors dressed as a character. That's to immerse you a little more into the storyline. And take note that this is an outdoor activity for the most part, and the weather in Alberta can change very, very fast. And it literally just opened up with a downpour. So we're gonna take refuge in this barn for a few minutes. I believe it's gonna pass. So dress appropriately, and all the paths and roads around are dirt and gravel, so you're going to want some good footwear, and plan to spend about 2 to 3 hours here for sure. All right, so behind me here is a Ukrainian Canadian farmstead. Depicts life between, I guess, the 1917s to the late 1920s, and kind of cool to come see all these things. And all these buildings on this property were brought in from surrounding areas. They're all original. These are not reproductions. They've been brought in from little Ukrainian villages all over kind of central Alberta. All right, behind me is the local grocery store, more compared to like a modern day convenience store. It just saved the locals from taking a trip in to the bigger urban centers. So this is one of 3 churches on the property, and the churches are all a little bit different. This one was built in 1908, and the priests would have to move from county, or not from county to county, but from like church to church. And there was about 40 churches all over this region of Alberta. So what would happen is you might only get church 8 days a year. So when the priest would visit your church in your community, he would do the weddings, the funerals, mass, and everything all in one day. So it could be an extremely long day, and in Orthodox churches you don't sit down, so you would have to stand for the entire service. So it could be a very long day on your feet coming into the church. And fun fact about this church, it took them 5 years to build. They could only work on it in the winter, but what happened, what set them back is they had a bell tower here. It was on top and it crashed through, set them back about 2 years. So now the bell tower just sits outside. So this building here is known as your community center, and there's multiple events held here, everything from theater to town halls, but it was also a political hub. So the Ukrainians came over from the old Soviet Union, which was communist. So they printed 2 newspapers here when they came to Canada. The Farmer's Life, which was a communist-leaning newspaper, and then they also printed the Ukrainian Voice, which was a democratic-leaning paper. All right, guys, so we're about to enter the main part of the downtown. It's pretty cool. There's the main Ukrainian-style church. You got the railroad, the grain elevator off to the side, and yeah, we'll go check her out. So this church here at the back of the town site, St Vladimirs Ukrainian Greek Orthodox Church, is a tad bit different from your other Orthodox churches because this one actually has seats, which you don't usually ever see in an Orthodox church. All right, once you're all done touring the village, you can come to this barn behind me and grab a little bite to eat. They have a bunch of Ukrainian dishes in there, and we went with like a platter. They have some pierogies, some cabbage rolls, and some sausage on there, really good. We also went with a borscht, which is the traditional beet soup. Then we also went with 2 salads, a wheat berry salad, which I've never had before, really unique, really good. And then we went with a chandro salad, which is like a leaf salad with like a cucumber dill dressing, top notch. Really love that too. So definitely stop by and grab a bite after you're done touring the village. All right, so just finished up lunch, finished touring the Ukrainian village here over there in the distance, made it back to the parking lot. The skies have opened up, it's now pouring. Anyways, that's gonna conclude this video. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.